there's something cathartic about being able to exercise that in a
Oh
safe space that is, we're making art here. But we blurred the line, and that was also a part of the challenge and the fun of doing something like this. That's a unique experience.
I watched the film earlier this morning, and I got to say, Dig was an absolute blast. I did not know what to expect going in, and I truly enjoyed it. What about it really spoke to both of you to want to be a part of the project?
Well, I mean, it's a father-daughter situation that I think a lot of parents can relate to. Things happen, things aren't always rosy with your relationship with your kid.
Yeah.
Things happen, you might be partially responsible or you might not. Sometimes shit just happens. Shit happens. But in this case, the father in this film is partially responsible for the events that drive a wedge between him and me and my daughter. And I thought that was valuable to explore in an entertaining, movie that's also has great opportunity for some terrific characters. I mean, to work with Emil Hirsch and Liana, who plays his girlfriend, and of course, what really turned me on was a possibility of getting to act with my daughter. And she read the script and she's like, all right, I want to audition for this. This could be cool. And regardless of what she thinks that, she would have got the part anyway, that's not true. Because if she couldn't act, I wasn't going to put myself or her through that. That's not what I want. I don't want to have a record of that. I don't certainly don't need that. But the fact of the matter is, she blew everybody away, blew me away.
It was my first real job, so I'd never done it before. But I learned so much. It was a very valuable experience. So I'm really grateful that I got the opportunity. But I think I really wanted to be covered in blood. That's really what got me going. I was like, yes.
That was the scene that you read. You're like, all right, I want to do this.
Oh yeah, I read that and I was
covered in blood.
I'm in. But also, I saw Jane's anger in myself. In my younger self, I sort of have meditated that out. But, I saw it in me. I understood it. So.
Oh yeah, you understand it, all right.
you
were just telling me that you remembered what one, because a lot of it is at night and we were coming home from work one morning. It was like 8:00 in the morning and we were both covered in blood.
Yeah.
What was that?
We were coming home from work. It was like 8 or 9 in the morning. So we were going to this like pretty busy hotel. And I remember I was covered in blood. You were in dirt. I was bloody as hell though. Bloody head to toe. The hair was messed up. And I was walking in with you and Asher, the director. And I said to them, I was like, we need to be very careful because it looks like you guys have just done something terrible to me. And I'm like in trouble. We need to be very scared. But I also felt so cool. Walking through with my little headphones in.
Oh yeah. It turned some heads in the lobby.
Definitely. but the concierge got used to it pretty quick.
That's true. Yeah. They had that look like, should we call the cops? What's going on here? But then they slowly got the picture.
I think at that point, they probably figured you could handle your own after 1 or 2 times of coming in that way.
Oh, yeah. They were like, maybe this is like a weird, child street fighting ring. And she's just winning.
Impressive. Now, one of the things I love about your character, Harlow, is the ASL aspect of her. And so I'm curious what that was like for you learning that. Were you already familiar with ASL prior to the film, or did you have to learn it from scratch once you got signed on?
I had basically had to learn it from scratch. I knew a couple of letters, literally just like the alphabet. But no, I essentially had to learn it from scratch. And I remember the script wasn't totally optimized for ASL, and we kind of figured that out in the learning process of things. So working with my teacher, we kind of had to, actually, I think it made Asher and everybody, the writers, a little mad because we kind of had to change a lot of my lines just to make it realistic. But yeah, I'd never learned it before. And I did feel, I wasn't totally sure how to feel because I can hear, I'm a hearing person. But at the same time, this girl lived the majority of her life with her hearing. And so to have that sort of taken away a year, 9 months prior to the happenings of this movie, I think it was kind of important that it just adds another layer to that, like, this is so fucked. Like, wow, my life just gets so much better every day. Of her character.
Yeah, there's certain things that you can't say in ASL that were in the script, and they had to make the adjustments of like, okay, how would you get this idea across?
Yeah, and also the fact that he kind of was a bit reluctant, his character, to learn ASL, so that just adds another layer of like, we can't talk. Why? It's like, you can't hear me. Why aren't you listening?
Great metaphor for the teenage daughter-father relationship.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
You don't understand a fucking thing I'm saying.
Yeah. It's a great big game of charades.
Yeah. Exactly. And so for Thomas, I know that most of, Harlow's character's dialogue was in the script, but I mean, did you also learn some ASL to help with the filming?
I think that my character's got a little he doesn't want to take responsibility for the full impact, the full repercussions of what has happened. So I'm reluctant to even acknowledge that ASL is something that I need to learn. I'm drawing on pads and showing her, what I want. And so there's an evolution throughout the film of his sort of acceptance of reality.
So what was it like developing the specific rapport for this film between you two? I mean, obviously you have the real life father-daughter relationship, but what was it like developing it for your characters for the film?
Oh, we didn't have to do any work at all.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think I would say, I think we kind of did a callback to when I was like 12. Mm-hmm. I want to say it's like, that early adolescent. There's a lot of things going on. I'm really mad all the time.
17,
upset.
18.
No, I was a lot better at 17. I think 16, I really turned the corner. Mm-hmm. Let's give me some credit here.
It's true.
We didn't have to work too much on that. We kind of had experience.
we had the experience, which is great.
Which is
and to be able to kind of there's something cathartic about being able to exercise that in a safe space that is we're making art here. But we blurred the line, and that was also a part of the challenge and the fun of doing something like this. That's a unique experience, where there is truth to what it's there all the time, every time we look at each other.
Yeah.
And to be able to feel safe enough to capture that on film was important.
Asher did try to make it clear to us. He was like, I did not sign up for family therapy. Is what we're not going to do here. But I think we sort of gave we were like, you know what I mean? Did it anyway, just a little bit.
Oh, well, that's awesome that you got to have that work out for the film then. And it comes across very well for the characters and their story. Before I let you go, I'm curious, what was your biggest creative challenge, each of you, to get to the hearts of your characters?
I mean, you have to feel safe enough and naked enough to be able to express yourself in a way that's truthful. And normally you have a buffer of this is just pretend because this other actor I'm working with, I don't actually really know. She goes home at night. I don't know what her life is. I don't know who she is, but except for when we're rehearsing and acting together or getting coffee at the craft table, that's the extent of our relationship. But Harlow and I, our relationship goes back to the day she was born. I mean, I cut Harlow's umbilical cord, with my pocket knife. So it was that alone can can be a challenge, you know.
Yeah.
But it's also the fun of it.
Definitely. And also going from that experience for me on what to me is kind of this was my first real job. Going from having that connection to then going on a set where, okay, we're all strangers again. And like, I don't know any of you. It was definitely interesting. That posed sort of its own creative challenge on just, separately, but also for me, just learning ASL was a challenge because I'm super uncoordinated with my hands. I kind of don't know left from right. That was obviously challenging because also like to get to the heart of her. But even then, I mean, yeah, there are so many things that I could say, but that would be the main one.
Well, I think you both did a phenomenal job overcoming those challenges and bringing this film to life. Thomas, I've been a big fan of yours forever, so it was an honor to get to chat with you. Harlow, I can tell you're already going places, and I'm excited to see what comes next. So thank you both so much for taking the time to chat. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. I really appreciate it. I like your shirt.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one, y'all.